Tuned in to a Grown Folks production with the commish, Nate.
Yeah, there we go. I don't know why I did that. That was weird. Okay, but now, here we are. I don't know what it is about me lately and trying to get off to a really good start. It has not been, my friend, but welcome to the ALL22 OMFL experts. And so this is our podcast where we try to break down a different area. Usually we have guests on and they give you an area of their expertise. And it has been a while since we've had one, but we've got a new crop, a new blood of OMFL owners, and there are going to be some FPR struggles because we have a very specific type of play style. And so I just thought it would be a really good idea to go ahead and do a series of streams where we're breaking down FPR. There are some old videos, but those things are quite a bit old and have been there for a long time. So I think it is time to get some things updated, and I think it'll be a good move to go ahead and make that happen. So that's what we're gonna try to do here. Let me see if I can make sure I've got everything ready to go. I think we're good. Bam. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna break down the OMFL FPR. I'm gonna get it pulled up here in just a minute, and we're just gonna walk through all of the offensive FPR, just line by line, to explain exactly what it is that we're looking for. Not everything is going to be black and white. I can't talk about touch every single situation. And so I'm sure there are going to be situations, ideas that come up that don't quite fit. And that's okay. We have FPR court for that so that we can all get on the same page and talk through it. So if you're new here and you're checking this out, sorry for the rambling long video here to start us off with. I'll put some timestamps. We'll jump right to where you need to go as we break down FPR. But really, the way issues are handled here is if you feel like someone played outside of the rules, then as an owner, you submit feedback at the end of your game. And for games that you feel like you have to give negative feedback, you're to provide timestamps of what happened, the rules that were broken, and then we take that to one of our chats and we post exactly what one owner felt the other owner did. Both owners have 24 hours to kind of respond, to kind of make their case. We then review the film, the timestamps, and we kind of pass our ruling. And the reason it's kind of done in public is because it keeps people from being petty most of the time. Because if you're going to be petty, it's going to be out for everybody to see, and it's just not going to be a good look for you. So make sure that you take the time to go and know, was that a rule break? Was it not a rule break? Ask any clarifying questions. And then we have timestamps, and it helps everyone know how we feel about that very specific issue, and hopefully it's a learning opportunity for all of us. So let's do this. Let's get over to our FPR section here. I'm gonna get over here to our gameplay footage, and I've just got it on practice mode, and we're just gonna walk through all of the OMFL FPR for the offense. And then we'll do another one later on about the defense, and then we'll come back and we'll do the players and the generals, which is a little bit easier to understand. I think there's one main guiding rule that if most of the time you remember and do this one rule, then you're going to be fine in 99% of the cases, outside of like weird stuff. Like if you're just doing like weird things like going for it every fourth down. That clearly is against our rules. That's not going to fit into the rule I'm about to say. If you are scrambling 100 times with your quarterback, if you're running all around in circles to avoid being tackled, right, that is not going to fall in this rule. But the main rule, the guiding rule, is don't do anything excessively. And excessively here is defined as anything as half of your play calls. So don't call the same play half of the time. Don't call the same concept half of the time. Don't call the same player that you're getting the ball to half of the time. Just try to mix things up. And if you mix plays up and play formations and play concepts and where you're going with the ball, if you mix those things up on both sides of the ball, then it allows you to play a good, evenly called game. We are a no-switch league. If you're watching this in 2022, and that means when the ball is in the air on both sides of the ball, you cannot switch. You must let the animations and the computer play out. It's because we get weird animations. The game is an animation-driven game, and so our concept is you let the animations do what the animations do, let it play out, and then both teams, both players can take back control of their player after the ball is caught. And it elevates the skill of defensive players. If you're playing a position on defense that allows you to make a play on the ball and you have worked at that skill, then you should be awarded for that. And same thing on offense. If you have built the skill of running the right concepts, making good reads, and getting the ball where you need to go, and you've done player development, then your receivers will catch the ball and do what they're supposed to do. And so we are a no-switch league from the concept of the ball has to be caught or handed off before you can switch. As long as the ball is in the air, you cannot switch. And we'll get to some of the kind of other rules. So mix it up. Don't do anything excessively. We are a no-switch league when the ball is in the air. These other things are just general rules. Run the play as it's designed to run. If I'm calling a counter to the left, there's no need for me to go to the right. I don't care if the hole opens wide open. The game is designed to be AI driven. You can only control one player. And so if the game has decided that the other person called the perfect defense against your offense, and it opens up because now all of a sudden the players who you don't have any control on defense are crashing, we're just trying to keep those weird plays from opening up. If you don't know what I mean, go watch basically any Madden professional stream. You'll see those guys taking advantage of all of the flaws because they play differently than we do. They're trying to, build money and all, a career. We're trying to keep things fair. FPR, I probably should have started with that. Fair play rules, and this is to keep things fair and even so that skills can be built. A chess match of play calling can happen, and GMing and building your team, player development is awarded. So keep the thirst to a minimum. We all want to win. We're all competitive. We're all driven. But this is a video game at the end, and we're really here for relationships. And if you're looking for a place just to win championships and a place just to play games and you're not interested in anything else, this is probably not going to be a place where you're probably going to be unhappy here. And so it might save you some time, save us some time. Don't want to frustrate you or aggravate you or have an expectation of you that you don't want of us. And so if you're only looking for that, might want to check out either some of the other leagues that we have here, because we have really amazing leagues here, and some of them are just play leagues, or there's a zillion other Madden leagues out there. I'm sure you can find one that fits exactly what you're looking for. No switch league till the ball is caught, or if the ball is tipped. And so if you're playing defense and that weird tip animation happens, you can switch on offense and defense and try to make a play on the ball. So in play calling, we ask that you do not use play. It used to be coach suggestions, and I guess don't necessarily have them. And so the real idea behind this is that you need to be calling majority of your plays. This number is probably different than the 50%. There isn't a hard, fast number. 99% of the time, okay, that's not even a real number. You should be learning your playbook, calling your plays, mixing up your formations. If from time to time you need to run a specific concept, that's kind of allowed, but we don't want to see a ton of that. Play type, again, is a little bit like concept. Learn your playbook. Personnel is one that I'm more open to because it allows you to mix up your formations. And so this is not a bad way for you to call plays. Personnel and formation are the two things that you should be using to call your plays. Concept and play type can be used sparingly if you're like in an intense moment, the clock's running, you're like looking for a very specific play and you don't quite remember where it is. You can use these two ideas to help get you there, but you need to learn your playbook. Ban plays, calling play action on third down or more, on third down or on 10 yards or more. So third and long, that is not a play action play call. Again, we are dealing with AI here. And so because we're dealing with AI, I can't control if all of my players, for some stupid reason, bite up on a play action on third down. And especially like 3rd and 10, 3rd and 20, 3rd and 30, right? Just play action feels like it's not something that anyone in real life would ever come up and play up on. I'm going to just do like a random nickel play. Let's go dime. Let's go random play and dime. So this will be a play action. Looks like I'm probably going to get blitzed here. I'm going to throw it right to my defensive end. It's impossible to show, and I'm going to just continue to get blitzed here just because I'm trying to show a very specific play. It doesn't work if you're being blitzed, so I'm trying to show, and I haven't even practiced this. Are you serious? This is what we're doing, team? You're just going to blitz me every single down? Okay, this isn't working out at all, but I'm trying to show that AI sometimes will bite even on plays that shouldn't be bid up on, and now they're just going to continue to blitz me. So that didn't work out at all. Keep the third down play calls for play action to 0. I know it happens from time to time. Accidentally, you press the wrong button because the plays all look kind of the same. It happens. No one's perfect. We're not robots. Goal line formations, quarterback sneak is the one play that is banned. Everything else is kind of open on the goal line. 3 wide receiver runs and shotgun runs inside the 10-yard line are banned. This is because the AI just doesn't respond well to shotgun runs. Again, just because I want to probably show one, they're going to blitz me every single down, and I'm not good at them either. But most of the time, shotgun runs are free 10 yards, it feels like, because it spreads out the AI. They don't react really well, even if they know it's going to be a run. And because we try to keep run commit to a minimum here, and only in specific situations, it's something that we ban inside the 10-yard line. So inside the 10-yard line, no shotgun formations, no 3 wide receiver formations for a run. You can still run those formations, but they must be a pass. And so we still allow you to open things up inside the 10-yard line, just not for runs. This does not include quarterback scrambles. This does not include pistol formations that are not 3 wide receiver or 4 wide receiver. Caution plays. This is where things get funky. But basically, I don't have any in my playbook. Or I would show you, but it is the formations. I guess I got this one. This isn't necessarily what we're talking about, but formations that load receivers to one side of the field. This bunch tight end formation. I've got another one here, a wing stack in 2 tight end single back formation. We know there is the 2 wide receivers on one side for I formation, weak formation, strong. They have it in pistol. I think they even, here's one for the tray, offset, and shotgun. But this is really speaking to pistol, strong, I, weak, near, far. We're trying to keep those to a caution. Just be careful. You can use them, but guys can't over abuse them, because what they do, they'll call that formation. They'll come to the line. If your defense is all on one side, they know that you're in a man defense. They may call an audible based on the play that they called, or vice versa. Your guys stay put. They may call an audible. It's just not the kind of gameplay we want to see. Call a play, run a play. That's what we're looking for, which means you should just be careful how many times you use those loaded and bunch formations. Closed bunch formations, especially on third down, especially in the red zone. Those should be used sparingly. Again, I'm going to try to see if I can get, I don't have this one. Let's see if we can get this one to do. We'll do random nickel against this. You see, it doesn't quite line everybody up correctly. It doesn't, you can see Lattimore is, I don't know, I'm guessing here, 5 yards off of the receiver. I can't bump them because I'm not playing with two controllers. But even if you bump them, he doesn't get him straight on. And so it allows that drag to have a 5 yard head start. And because Madden just doesn't line up over receivers correctly in these bunch formations, we ask that you can use them, just keep them to a minimum. Don't break them out every third down. Don't break them out every crucial down. You give up a first down sack. Now you're in 2nd and 14, 2nd and 18, and you come out in bunch formation so you can hit a quick drag, pick up 10 or 12, give you a third manageable. We don't want to see that type of play calling. Mix it up. And sometimes if you take a loss, you take a loss. You need to punt it and start over next down. You gave up a sack. It is what it is. Or run a non-bunch, non-close, non-stacked formation and go make a play. Go run that play. Let's see. You'll see number 10 here. Just going to get the head start right off of the ball. I just threw it right to my defensive line. Pay attention. This is why I'm an 8-8 player. I am not here telling you I am the best player. I'm here just trying to break down exactly what we mean by FPR. And this video is already getting way too long because I'm a preacher and I talk too much. Slants and drag routes, especially on third down, again, those can be abused. Those become an issue. So not only it's watching and mixing up your third down play call. That's really what we're getting at. We want to see you mix that play calling up on third down and not lean on a specific formation, a specific type of play. You can use these plays, but mix them up in all of your play calling and don't have a crutch on third down because it is the critical down. Anything that is 3 gaps or more opposite side of the design should be avoided. This is for a run. Let me see if I can get you something that would help talk about exactly what we're talking. Okay, here we go. Halfback counter strong. We're going to go. Oh, this is not my playbook. That's why. This is the Saints normal playbook. So we'll just do 3-4. So this play is designed to go between the tackle and the tight end. Oftentimes, when this play is read well by the defensive AI will take everybody to where the counter is supposed to be. The AI does not keep gap assignments. The AI does not close down the back end. And what can happen, not all the time, but sometimes, is it opens up a massive gap in the middle. You didn't call a middle run. You called a counter. You need to run the counter, and that means even if it gets blown up. So we'll run the counter here. Supposed to go out here. I'm not hitting speed burst. I'm just trying to make a point here, get tackled, and show you the counter. Let's see if we can take one up the middle. I have no clue what kind of defense it's calling, but we're going to see. You see the middle comes wide open. If the safety doesn't come down on that, if he's playing deep coverage, then we know even a bigger hole is going to be opened up there. So that's the idea. Keep it within 2 gaps. Every now and then, if you break a third gap, it's fine, but don't go opposite. Don't call a stretch play. All right, this is going outside of the tight end, and I'm taking it straight up the middle. All right, or cutting it back, something weird like that. Again, I'm not hitting speed bursts. I also suck at cutbacks like that. Those are what we're trying to avoid with the runs. I just feel like I'm oversimplifying it. Mix up your play calling. Don't switch and run the play where it's designed to go on both sides of the ball, and you will be fine 99.9% of the time. We even gave you a little graph that you can look at. Dropbacks with your quarterback need to be straight back. Let me see if I can show you. This is a new thing that went away for a long time and then came back this Madden. I don't know that this is going to work because, again, it wasn't something that I did really well, and I actually never did. So I've never even practiced this. But it's this weird thing that guys will do at the snap right there. They're moving. Well, I got touched by my offensive line, right? They're moving around in the pocket in these weird ways. and we'll see them at the snap sprint backwards, right, to give themselves plenty more time to make a play, get tackled here. Or they'll do this weird where they're not dropping straight back, but they're dropping back at an angle. And then they're just buying themselves more time as I get blitzed wide open there. We want to see that drop back come straight back, right? We want to see you just straight back, drop back, not a big deal. Let's not do weird stuff. Don't need to be dropping back further than 10 yards, right? Because when you start getting back, just give more time, more time. This is an unrealistic drop back, right? This is not something that you would actually ever see in the NFL. Guys would have broken loose and come after you, but you've seen how long I had there, even in practice mode. So nice straight drop back, keep it within 10 yards, make a read, make a play, get rid of the ball. That's what we're expecting when we talk about quarterback dropbacks. And it sucks that had to come back because that was out of our rule book for a long time because it wasn't a thing. And this man, it became a thing again. Crossing routes on third down, they just become an issue. A lot of guys hate them. Again, we'll see here, they just are often, especially on third down, if you're playing man defense, if you've got all day, right, they're just open a lot. They seem to be one of the easier routes because of the time factor. And we've done a lot of things to mix up the time that quarterbacks have. But at the end of the day, this is the very best that we could get it. And what guys will do is, especially on a third and long, I didn't throw the crossing route, my bad. Especially on third and long, they'll hope that somebody calls man defense or zone defense, and they'll just sit back there and they'll just like let the play develop. You can see even here, I got blitzed and I still have plenty of time to let two crossing routes cross and get wide open. So keep the third down crossers to a minimum. You can use them, but if you know, oh, last third down, I ran across and I hit it for first down, don't run a crosser again. Or if you run a formation as a cross, just take that formation out of your head. Don't look at it. Here's some ratios that we're going to throw at you. Outside runs and inside runs should be mixed up 50-50, as close as you can. If you lean heavy, you should probably lean heavy inside. If you start leaning heavy 60-40, 75-25 to the outside, guys are going to complain. If you're going to be heavy on the inside. It's just a pretty normal, common, easy play. Like if you're running it up the gut on somebody and they can't stop you, that's on them. They didn't call the right plays or build the right team. But on the outside, like tosses, even though it's less and less of a thing this Madden, the outside still tends to be slightly easier. Try to keep them to a 50-50. 3 out of 10 of your runs can be out of the shotgun. 30% of your total runs can be out of the shotgun. We're trying R3 wide. We're trying to open it up, as you hear my granddaughter, baby Stella, cry in the background. We're trying to open it up for owners, give you some more opportunities to play call. I can't believe we went 24 minutes. My bad, y'all. I talk too much. But trying to keep that to a minimum. Open it up for you, but don't go overboard. It needs to be under 30%. Single and pistol formations are considered base formations. Trying to open it up for the offenses a little bit more. 12, 21, 22 personnel, normal pro formations need to be on the field around 50% at least. You know, you could go a little, I mean, you can go way above that if you choose, but if you start going below that, if it starts becoming a 40%, that's the personnel on the field, and the other 60%, you're 3 wide, you're 4 wide, you're doing crazy formations, that's going to be a problem. This means 1 tight end, 2 running backs, 1 running back, 2 tight ends, 2 tight end, 2 running backs. If you're losing, if you're getting blown out, this opens up the restrictions for you just a little bit more, and you can run some of those other ones. Excessive use of bunch and close formations, 40% or more, you can be pulled before FPR court because that's too many bunch, closed, tight, close. All the other names of these weird formations that, again, we talked about, the defense will not line up over. RPOs, options, combine 25% of your plays. So you can run RPO, you can run options, the monster formations, those kinds of things. They need to be 25% or less of your plays. At the line of scrimmage, Manually moved players must stop before you hike the ball and let the defense get set. If you manually move a guy, now there's the auto move, you can't control that, but if you manually move a guy, he needs to stop. We're trying to quit guys from using a wide receiver to come inside, snap it when he's at the offensive line. Now the DB is 4 yards behind. He's getting washed out with the defense, and you get an extra blocker. It just messes with the AI. We're trying to quit that from happening. And so any manually moved player must come stop. He must allow the defense to get set before you snap. You may not consistently run the play clock to 0 before the final 3 minutes of the half and the game. This means no kill clock. Once you get to the final 3 minutes of each half, first half, second half, you may then use kill clock. You may then run the clock down to 0. Outside of that, call a play, get to the line of scrimmage, snap the ball, run the play. We're not sitting here trying to run 14 plays a game and just play ball control offense. Get to the line, let's play ball. Here's some more FPR rules. I can't believe I've been 27 minutes in this. This is all my bad. Do not sprint. We talked about that. Do not sprint directly out of the pocket at the snap. Drop back. Also, let's see if we can do this one. I don't know that we can because it's practice mode. You have to throw before the numbers. So we're going to get to the numbers, right? And these guys start to pull off of me. I didn't press the button fast enough because I'm looking at all kinds of things here. Basically, throw it before you get to the numbers so that we're not tricking the AI and we're pulling them off of you and leaving a guy wide open. Number 20 just sat there. He didn't rush the quarterback. He didn't go back and play the receiver. He didn't do anything. And so it's throw the ball away or run the ball by the time you get to the numbers. If you're right at the numbers and you've already started to throw animation, that kind of is what it is, like right here, right? Like that's fine. Just get rid of the ball before you get to those numbers. Where are we at? Throw it. Don't throw outside of the numbers. Don't drop back further than 10 yards. We've already shown that. We've already talked about. Your number one halfback should get 80% of the carries maximum. You have to use your other running backs. Fatigue just doesn't work the way we wish it worked, and injuries don't either. And so we make you mix that up. No running techniques that abuse the CPU. This means parallel or backwards running. Again, not something I was ever really good at. We're going to see if we can show you what that means. I'm going to try to run this one backwards. Parallel running happens sometimes, but we want to keep it to a minimum. And what I'm doing here is I'm running backwards to let that guy get the block. I get the corner here, and I make a play that probably would have been blown up had I not kind of came backwards. That's what we're trying to avoid. This one didn't work at all. I would have normally wouldn't have went wide, but I'm trying to prove the point, make the point here. Parallel running happens sometimes. Sometimes there is no way to cut it up. And so sometimes you will run parallel, but we're just trying to keep weird things from happening. Like you're running parallel because you know if you can buy an extra 3 or 4 seconds, you'll get the block that'll spring you. Run the play where it's supposed to go, right? And the play's supposed to go right up here. Run the play where it's supposed to go. That is the main driving force behind what we do here. Run the play, do it the way that it's supposed to be ran, and move on with your lives. No backwards running, no east to west running just to get a better angle. Quarterbacks are allowed to have 35%, 7 out of 20 runs, trying to open the playbook to allow guys who have agile, athletic quarterbacks to be able to use them. Fourth down rule, you can !OMFL fourth down. It'll bring this up in Discord. 4th and 2, you can go, or less in your opponent's territory, you can go for it. Anytime you're losing by 20 or more, you can go for it. Anytime you're losing by any amount in the fourth quarter or overtime, you can go for it. In the final 2 minutes, if you're winning by 6 or less, so you're winning by 6 points or less, and you have the ball in the final 2 minutes, you can go for it. 4th and 2 and less. That gets confusing. I know. The point there is that we're trying to allow teams who are up big, not up big, who are in a close, tight game, because if you're up big, who cares? Punt the ball. But if you're in a close game and you're in 4th and 2 and you want to gamble anywhere in the field, you can go for it. 6 points and less, your ball, anywhere on the field, less than 2 minutes left to go in the game. If you want to gamble and go for it, we will allow you. Fake field goals, fake punts fall in all of those same rules as above. Pre-snap changes, all adjustments fall under the majority of the rule. A majority of the time, call the play, run the play. Call the play, run the play. Call the play, run the play. Hey, just in case you didn't get it, call the play, run the play. Just run the play. That's it. We just want you to get to the line, run the play. Yes, you make adjustments. Yes, good play callers are able to see what's happening and make an adjustment. You can make some adjustments, just shouldn't be every single play. You should not be crafting a play at the line. You should not be calling an audible every time you come to the line. Sometimes you come to the line, you know that guy made a good defensive call. Go either beat it or take your loss and come back on the next play and call a better play in that situation. You can make adjustments, but if they get close to that majority, that 50% of the time, that's going to be an issue. Run the play that you called. Running to one side of the field on a kickoff, like purposefully, should not be done every time. What we have seen is guys will take the kick no matter where it's at, sprint to one side of the field and try to juke somebody and break one. Just like run the kickoff where it's supposed to be. The guy's going to kick it. If he kicks it on one side of the field, so be it. Do what you got to do. I do a little thing where I'll start in one direction. If it opens up, I'll do a cut back and go. If it doesn't open up, I'll stay in that direction. Just don't do things that look weird, feel weird, and that mess up the AI. Onside kicks are only permitted during the fourth quarter when you're losing. No huddle can be the last 2 minutes of each half. Losing by 14 points in the second half of a game. So if you're losing by 14 or more in the second half, you can run no huddle. Losing any amount in the fourth quarter, you must give the defense time to get set. You ain't got to give them all night, but you got to give them a chance to make an audible, get set, let their players get set, not trying to catch guys in weird formations. Defensive offside penalties due to no huddle must be declined. So that's your offensive FPR. This went way longer than it should have. My wife just walked in the door, which means we got to wrap this puppy up. And if you're watching this much later, not here live, don't worry. I'll put timestamps. Find the timestamp of the section that you'd like to know and go to it. But what we're trying to do here is just bring better FPR for everybody, help bring some clarity. We'll do a defensive one next, and then we'll come back later and we'll do general and the off-season rules. No really gameplay to kind of show you there, but we'll put it up on the screen and we'll walk through those. And I promise you, I figured out a way to make them shorter. I hope this helps you. We'll continue to do more of these as we break down very specific things that we've seen over time. And hopefully this helps us all kind of fit the game style that we're trying to do, because there's still nothing better than a great chess match of a game where neither team is using the AI flaws of the game. Game's still the game. It still has weird things that happen. There's still nothing better than great rivalries and great games. Guys, you matter. I thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for checking out the OMFL if you're checking us out for the first time. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Smash that like and subscribe.